How's it going, YouTube? My name is Christian with Plan Your Federal Retirement, back with another video with our All About FERS series. And this time I wanted to answer the question, do we really need to sign up for Medicare when we already have FEHB? So it's a really good question. We get asked this quite a bit, and generally what we're recommending is yes, it makes a lot of sense to sign up for Medicare Part A and B, as well as keeping FEHB. Now here at Plan Your Federal Retirement, we are not federal employees. So we have a little bit of a different perspective from the outside looking into your health insurance, comparing that to what others who are not in the federal employee retirement system have. And what we often say is your health insurance are your number one benefit that you have as federal employees and federal retirees. The fact that you're only paying 28% of the premiums, the government is subsidizing about 72% of the premiums. Oh, and by the way, they do that while you're retired as well, and you get to keep that health insurance. It's a really, really good benefit, and I honestly am pretty jealous of it. And so if we combine that really good health insurance that you have with Medicare, Part A, as you probably already know, is the hospital part of Medicare, the hospital insurance. You no longer pay for it when you sign up for it. We pay for it in our paychecks while we're working, but then when you sign up for it at 65, Part A, we no longer pay premiums for Part A. Part B is the physician coverage, the doctor visits, right? That's the one that we do pay for. In 2024, the premiums are going to be about $175 for the first tier, and then it only goes up from there depending on your tax bracket, depending on your tax situation, right? And so that was the big question mark is going to be, well, how much are we going to be paying for Medicare? And is it worth it if I already have FEHB? And again, generally that answer is yes. That premium that you're paying for Part B is low enough to where any additional out-of-pocket costs, if we didn't have it, would make a lot of sense to have that robust coverage of having both. When you sign up for Medicare, it becomes your primary insurance. FEHB then becomes your secondary insurance. And they really dovetail nicely together. We do have clients who, while they're working, start with the Blue Cross Blue Shield standard, or the GIHA, or whatever other option that's more of the higher premiums per month with more robust coverage. And then when they retire, they drop their coverage down to maybe a more basic option, like the Blue Cross Blue Shield basic option, once they sign up for Medicare. Reason being, because now they have both insurances, we don't need that highest tier with that Blue Cross Blue Shield or with FEHB. And not to mention, there's also rebates and reimbursements that are available to those different insurance programs. I know especially with Blue Cross Blue Shield Basic, there's about an $800 per person per year reimbursement for Medicare Part B. I know GIHA has a rebate of a similar value. So we can reduce our FEHB premiums. Oh, and by the way, we're getting a reimbursement for Medicare. A lot of times that makes a lot of sense, and it's some really good health insurance coverage. Oftentimes we don't really have to plan that we'll have much out of pocket besides that. Now on the flip side, if we didn't sign up for Medicare Part B, then we might be a little more concerned that we might have some more out of pocket costs that could come up. FEHB or whatever health insurance plan that you're under FEHB could change the rules on what's covered and what isn't covered. And in the future, you might have a little bit more out-of-pocket costs. We typically will tell our clients, if we don't sign up for Medicare Part B, to plan for somewhere in the range of $10,000 to maybe $15,000 out of pocket for a large medical event that could happen, right? Now, if you're a TRICARE, if you're covered under TRICARE and you want TRICARE for life, this is an exception. You must sign up for Medicare Part A and B in order to keep TRICARE for life. Same for Postal Service employees. If we're covered under the Postal Service health benefits, starting in 2025, you must sign up for Part A and B in order to have that Postal Service health benefit under FEHB. There are some, I guess, exceptions to this as well, to where maybe we don't sign up for Part B, and the biggest reason would be the tax bracket that you're in. So if the baseline is about $175 a month in 2024 for your health insurance for Medicare Part B, it really goes up from there if your taxes are a lot higher. It could go up to $300, $400, $500 plus per person for Medicare Part B. And so if you're thinking about, you and your spouse being covered under Part B, and it's $600, $700, $800 plus per month for that, well, maybe it's justified that you wouldn't do that, and instead you would just pocket that $800 a month in a savings account. And if we needed that extra out-of-pocket expenses that come up, then great, you have some savings that you could pay for it. But again, that doesn't apply to a lot of the federal employees we see, and oftentimes it still makes a lot of sense, even if you're in the first or second tier for Medicare, IRMA brackets, that is, to have that and to sign up for it, as well as your FEHB. So again, from the outside looking in, FEHB is some really good benefit that you have combined with Medicare Parts A and B. If we look at what others have who don't have FEHB, not only are they signing up for Medicare Parts A and B, but they're also signing up for Part C and Part D, the Medicare Advantage Plan and prescription drug coverage. Well, your FEHB essentially is your Advantage Plan, Medicare Advantage Plan, and your prescription drug coverage. And again, it's just some really good coverage, and I would recommend that you would sign up for it most of the time. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have more questions related to FEHB or your FERS retirement benefits, you can leave your question below in the comment section. If you have more specific questions related to your situation, you can also jump on our website at planyourfederalretirement.com. You can request an appointment with one of our advisors, including myself, and we can go through your situation and explore, developing a retirement plan for you for the FERS system. So until next time, happy planning.